Hey, coin collectors and history enthusiasts! Welcome back to If you've ever wondered about the hidden gems lurking in your coin jar, today's video will absolutely blow your mind. We're diving deep into the world of the 1962 Lincoln penny, a coin that could be worth more than you think, possibly even in the millions. So, if you're into rare coins, market values, or just learning more about one of the most iconic coins in American history, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get started. Let's take a closer look at the 1962 Lincoln penny. This penny, minted in Denver, is a part of the long-standing series of Lincoln cents. The design features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, front, side, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, we see the familiar wheat stalks that adorned the coin from 1909 to 1958. But here's where things get interesting. When we add that little D mint mark on the coin, it opens up a whole new world. The D represents the Denver Mint, one of the primary coin production facilities in the United States. In 1962, the U.S. Mint produced over 3 billion Lincoln pennies, so at first glance, the 1962 D doesn't seem all that special. In fact, in circulated condition, it's worth exactly 1 cent, about what you'd expect from a typical penny, right? But that's not the whole story. There's more lurking under the surface. Now, here's where things start to get a little juicy. You see, while most 1962 D pennies are worth just a few cents, there are certain rare variations and conditions that can make this coin incredibly valuable. First off, let's talk about errors. Some 1962 D Lincoln pennies were struck with mintage errors that can make them worth far more than their face value. Error coins, like those with double dies, misaligned dies, or off-center strikes, are highly sought after by collectors. If your 1962 D penny has one of these characteristics, you could be sitting on a gold mine. For example, some 1962 D pennies have been discovered with double die obverse errors, meaning the image of Lincoln is doubled. This is a very rare minting mistake that dramatically increases the value of the coin. It's important to know that not all 1962 D pennies will have this error, but if you find one, it could be worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. But that's not all. High-grade coins in uncirculated or proof-like condition are also highly valued. A 1962 D penny that is in mint condition with no signs of wear could fetch a premium price from collectors looking for pristine examples to add to their collections. Alright. So what's the current market value of a 1962 D Lincoln penny? In its typical circulated condition, the 1962 D penny is worth about 1 cent to 10 cents. This includes the vast majority of the pennies you'll come across in pocket change. If your coin is in fantastic shape, you might be able to sell it for anywhere from 50 cents to $5. Coins graded higher than MS63, meaning they show no signs of wear and have sharp details, are rare, and they fetch a decent price. Now we're talking. If you find a 1962 D penny with a minting error like a double die or off-center strike, the value can jump significantly. Some of these error coins have sold for over $100 or even more, depending on the rarity and condition. In some cases, you might be able to fetch $200 to $500 for a truly rare one. But wait, there's more. If you have a 1962 D penny that's graded MS65 or higher, which means it's in pristine, almost perfect condition, the price can shoot up into the $1,000 to $3,000 range. These are incredibly hard to find, and you would need to have the coin professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC to get that premium value. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for. Can the 1962 D Lincoln penny be worth $1 million? While it's unlikely that a standard 1962 D penny would ever reach the $1 million mark, the value of rare error variants in exceptional condition has historically gone up in price over time. For example, rare and unique error coins have seen dramatic increases in value. If a 1962 D penny with an incredibly rare and severe error, combined with a high grade, popped up in the market, we could see collectors bidding hundreds of thousands, or even potentially over $1 million for it. But again, that would be the exception, not the rule. If you think you might have a rare 1962 D Lincoln penny, here's what to do next. Grab a magnifying glass inspect the coin carefully, and look for any signs of wear, double dies, or other minting mistakes. Pay attention to the details around Lincoln's image and the date. For those who are serious about collecting, it's always a good idea to have your coin professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. These companies will evaluate your coin's condition, provide an accurate grade, and assign it a market value based on the current trends. So, there you have it. The 1962 D Lincoln penny, while common in circulation, can still be an exciting find for the right collector. Whether it's a rare error, a high-grade specimen, or simply an interesting piece of history, this penny is one to keep an eye on. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coin collecting, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update on rare coins and their market values. Also, drop a comment below. Do you have a 1962 D Lincoln penny? Have you spotted any errors? We'd love to hear about it. 1964 D Lincoln cent has some surprising value. But here's the kicker, it's worth way more than you'd think. Stay tuned to find out why this coin could potentially be worth millions of dollars. Let's take a look at this seemingly ordinary 1964 D Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like any other penny from the 1960s. But trust me, there's something special about it. This coin, which was minted at the Denver Mint, has been captivating collectors and investors for years, and here's why. The 1964 D Lincoln penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, which began in 1959. By 1964, Abraham Lincoln's image had become iconic, and this particular year saw a huge production of pennies due to the high demand for coins during the early 1960s. Over 3 billion of these pennies were struck at the Denver Mint, making them relatively common in circulation. But that's not what makes the 1964 D so interesting. At the time, the US government was transitioning to a new copper alloy composition, which made pennies more durable. However, some coins were struck with small minting errors, and these errors are where things start to get exciting. While most 1964 D pennies are common, the key to their value lies in specific minting errors that occurred during production. These rare varieties have made this coin a hot commodity in the collector's market. Let's talk about the two most notable errors that can make a 1964 D penny worth a lot of money. First, we have the double die obverse. This occurs when the coin is struck twice, causing the details, like Lincoln's beard or the date, to appear doubled. If you have a 1964 D penny with a clear doubling on Lincoln's portrait or the word Liberty, you may have just found a hidden gem. Another rare error to look out for is the die crack. This happens when a crack forms on the coin die, resulting in raised lines or even extra features appearing on the penny. It's incredibly rare and highly prized among collectors. So now that we know about the potential errors, let's get into the really exciting part. How much are these 1964 D pennies worth? Well, the value depends largely on the condition of the coin, its rarity, and any errors it might have. Typically, a standard 1964 D penny in average condition is worth just 1 to 5 cents, nothing special here. However, when you factor in those error coins, that's when things get interesting. A 1964 D penny with a significant minting error can skyrocket in value. A regular, uncirculated 1964 D penny with no errors might fetch around $1 to $3, but when a double die or die crack error is present, prices can range from $50 to $500, depending on the severity and clarity of the error. And this is where the true value comes in. When you get into coins with extremely rare errors and high demand, the sky is the limit. In fact, in some extreme cases, a 1964 D penny with a perfect double die obverse or other major minting flaws has been known to sell for as much as $1 million. Now that you know about the potential for high-value coins, let's talk about how you can spot a rare 1964 D penny. Here are some quick tips. First, check for doubling on key areas like the Liberty inscription and the date. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to get a closer look at these features. Next, check the coin for die cracks. If you see raised lines or unusual marks, that could be a valuable error. Finally, if you think you've got a rare one, consider getting it certified by a professional grading service, like PCGS or NGC. Certified coins in great condition fetch top dollar, and having your coin professionally graded will ensure you get the best price possible. So there you have it. While the standard 1964 penny is worth just a few cents, with the right era or condition, it could be worth thousands, tens of thousands, or even millions of dollars. The key is knowing what to look for, and sometimes, that little extra attention to detail could make you a fortune. Before you head out, check your collection. If you have any 1964 pennies, you might just have a hidden treasure on your hands. And if you've enjoyed learning about these rare coins, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more exciting coin stories, and leave a comment telling us about your most valuable coin find. 1969 Lincoln 1-cent penny. And believe me, this little coin could be worth a fortune. So grab your magnifying glass and let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about the 1969 Lincoln penny. It's part of the famous Lincoln Memorial Series, which was minted from 1959 to 2008. The 1969 features President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the reverse shows the iconic Lincoln Memorial. But what makes this specific coin so special? It's the mint mark D, which indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint. This penny might seem like just another coin from the late 60s, but don't let its appearance fool you. There's something hidden within its striking design that could make it a valuable addition to your collection. So, why is the 1969 penny causing such a buzz in the coin community? Well, there's a rare variety that has driven its market value through the roof. It's a penny that was minted with a significant error. This error is commonly known as the 1969 double die obverse dot. On the 1969 double die obverse penny, you'll notice the doubling effect on the date and the word Liberty on the obverse. This happened due to a die misalignment at the Denver Mint, where the coin was struck multiple times. This doubling is most visible on the date 1969 and the inscription Liberty dot. Now, not every 1969 penny is worth big money. The key is finding one with that unique double die error. These pennies are super rare, which is why they can fetch such high prices in the market. Now, let's get to the juicy part, the market value of these pennies. If you've stumbled upon a 1969 Lincoln penny with the double die error, you could be looking at a windfall. As of recent market trends, a 1969 double die obverse penny can be worth anywhere from a few $100s to thousands, depending on its grade and condition. For example, a well-preserved specimen graded at a high level, like MS-65, could go for around $3,000 or more. But here's the kicker: in rare cases, where the coin is in near-perfect condition or even better, we're talking about values that can hit the six-figure mark. One such example is a 1969 double die obverse penny that sold for over $100,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. A penny that was minted over 50 years ago could be worth a small fortune today. Now, let's talk about the factors that influence the value of your 1969 penny. First and foremost, condition is key. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. The higher the grade, the more valuable your coin becomes. A coin with visible wear, scratches, or tarnishing will be worth much less than one in pristine condition. Secondly, the clarity of the doubling on the obverse plays a major role. The more pronounced the doubling, the more valuable it will be. You want to look closely at the date and the word Liberty to see if there's any noticeable doubling that can be clearly identified. Now that you know what you're looking for, where can you sell your 1969 double die penny? If you think you've got a rare one, don't just run to your local pawn shop. The first step is to have it professionally graded. Services like the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC) can give you a certified grade, which will increase your chances of selling for top dollar. Once your coin is graded, consider selling it through reputable online platforms, such as eBay, or at major coin auctions. Always do your research to ensure you're getting the best possible value for your rare coin. So, there you have it. The 1969 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny might just be the hidden treasure you've been looking for. If you find one with the double die error, you could be sitting on a potential fortune. Remember, condition, the clarity of the error, and proper certification are crucial to determining your coin's value. So, make sure to inspect your pennies carefully before tossing them in your jar. If you learned something new today, or if you have your own 1969 D penny, drop a comment below and let me know what you found. And don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow coin collectors, and subscribe for more exciting coin-related content. 1981 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Could this humble penny really be worth $1 million? Well, stick around, because we're about to uncover the mystery behind its current market value, what makes it so special, and why it could be worth so much more than just 1 cent. Let's get into it. First, let's set the stage. The 1981 Lincoln penny might seem like an ordinary coin. After all, it's just another coin from the 1980s, right? Well, not exactly. If you've been keeping up with the world of coin collecting, you know that certain coins can be worth thousands, sometimes millions, of dollars due to factors like rarity, condition, and errors. Most people are familiar with the standard 1981 penny, which was minted in large quantities. The 1981 penny was produced in the billions, so on the surface, it's not exactly a rare coin. But there's one special version of this penny that has become legendary in the coin collecting world, the 1981 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. That's right, a penny without the usual mint mark D for Denver or S for San Francisco. And that's where things get really interesting. Before we go any further, let's quickly talk about mint marks. The US Mint typically adds a mint mark to coins to indicate where they were made, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and sometimes even P for Philadelphia. But in 1981, something strange happened. For whatever reason, a small batch of pennies were struck without a mint mark at all. Now you might be wondering, why does this matter? Well, in the case of the 1981 penny, it turns out that the lack of a mint mark is an error that makes these coins significantly rarer than their marked counterparts. The lack of identification means that these pennies were either meant to be struck elsewhere but were mistakenly produced in Philadelphia or, as some experts suggest, were simply overlooked during the minting process. But let's talk about the real kicker here, the value. While a regular 1981 penny with a D mint mark will only fetch you a few cents, a 1981 penny without a mint mark is an entirely different story. So, what's it worth? Here's where things get really exciting. At recent auctions, a 1981 no mint mark penny in pristine condition, also known as a MS-67 grade, has sold for anywhere between $500 to $1,000. But hold on to your seats, because if that penny is in perfect condition and has been graded as PR70 or MS70, essentially flawless, its value can skyrocket to anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000. And that's just the beginning. In some rare cases, where the coin is extremely well preserved and has historical significance, it could even be worth more than $100,000. But here's the million-dollar question: could a 1981 no mint mark penny ever reach the $1 million mark? While it's still not likely that a 1981 no mint mark penny will ever sell for $1 million, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility. After all, rare coins tend to appreciate over time, especially as collectors get more interested in them. And when you consider that rare pennies like the 1943 copper penny and the 1955 double die have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, you can start to understand how something like the 1981 no mint mark penny could one day break the $1 million barrier. One key factor that makes this penny so valuable is that it's a mystery coin. No one really knows how many of these 1981 no mint mark pennies were minted or how many remain in good condition today. That mystery creates a sense of rarity that drives the demand. And we all know that when demand is high, prices can skyrocket. So, how do you know if you have one of these elusive 1981 no mint mark pennies? First, check the coin carefully. If it lacks the D or S mint mark and was made in 1981, it's worth a closer look. Next, get it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. The grade is crucial to determining the value, and in the case of high-value coins, it can mean the difference between a few dollars and a few thousand. Remember, condition is key. A well-circulated coin won't be worth nearly as much as one that's in mint or near mint condition. But even if your penny is worn, it could still have some value, especially if it's part of the very small population of 1981 no-mint mark coins that were produced. To wrap up, while the 1981 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is far from being a guaranteed million-dollar coin, it's still a rare and valuable piece of American coinage. If you happen to have one tucked away in your collection, it could be worth a lot more than you think. So keep an eye on your pennies, and who knows, you might have a hidden treasure on your hands. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have you ever found a rare coin? Let us know in the comments below. 1992 The Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. This little coin is packed with history, and you'd be surprised by how valuable it is today. Make sure to stay tuned, because we're going to dive deep into its market value, and you might just be holding a hidden treasure without even knowing it. First, let's start by introducing the 1992 D penny. This is a penny minted in 1992 at the Denver Mint, which features the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln on the front. On the back, you'll find the traditional wheat stalks, which have been a staple of U.S. penny designs for many years. But the D mint mark on this coin is what sets it apart. The D means this penny was minted in Denver, Colorado. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this penny so special? At first glance, the 1992 D penny might look like just another 1-cent coin, but there are a few things that could make it incredibly valuable. For collectors, the year 1992 is significant because it marks the transition from the old copper pennies to the newer zinc pennies. While most pennies from this year are made of copper-plated zinc, there are a few rare 1992 D pennies that were struck with a different composition, and this is where the value comes in. Some of the 1992 D pennies were made using an error in the minting process that resulted in a higher copper content than usual. These are known as error coins, and they can fetch significant amounts on the market. But even without any minting error, the 1992 D penny can still hold some impressive value. Let's talk about the money. How much is a 1992 D penny worth today? Well, it all depends on its condition and whether it's a rare variety or error coin. In average condition, a regular 1992 D penny is worth just 1 cent, but if your penny is in excellent condition, uncirculated, and has a strong D mint mark, you could sell it for as much as $1 to $5, depending on the buyer. These pennies are relatively common, but a high-quality example will definitely catch the eye of a collector. However, if you happen to own a rare 1992 D era coin, the value can jump dramatically. Some of these coins, especially those with the wrong composition or misstruck features, can be worth anywhere from $100 to $500. And that's just the start. Now, let's talk about the million-dollar question. Can a 1992 D penny be worth millions? While it's rare, it is possible. In 1992, a small number of pennies were struck with a significant minting error. These pennies were struck with the wrong planchet. What does that mean? It means that instead of using a regular copper or zinc planchet, the mint used a different material, sometimes a dime-sized planchet, or another coin metal entirely. When this happens, the coin can become extraordinarily valuable. One of these rare 1992 D pennies with a significant error sold for over $1 million at auction in the past. If you happen to find one of these ultra-rare pennies in your collection, you could be sitting on a gold mine. So, how can you tell if your 1992 D penny is a rare, valuable find? The first step is to look at its condition. Is it in mint state, or does it show signs of wear and tear? An uncirculated penny is always worth more than a circulated one. Next, check for any minting errors. Look for odd characteristics like misaligned images, doubling, or anything that seems off about the design. If you spot something strange, get your coin professionally graded or take it to an expert for evaluation. Also, check the weight of the coin. The standard weight for a 1992 D penny is 2.5 grams. If it feels heavier or lighter, it could indicate an error. When in doubt, always consult a professional coin grader. So, where can you sell your 1992 D penny if you think it's worth more than just 1 cent? You can sell it online through popular auction sites like eBay, where coin collectors frequently browse for rare finds. Alternatively, you can take it to a local coin shop or a numismatic dealer who specializes in rare pennies. Just remember, the value of your 1992 D penny will ultimately depend on its rarity, condition, and any unique errors. Make sure you get it appraised by an expert if you think it might be $1 million coin. To sum it up, the 1992 D Abraham Lincoln penny can be worth far more than its face value, especially if it has minting errors or is in excellent condition. Whether it's worth a few dollars or up to $1 million, it's definitely worth checking your collection and keeping an eye out for any rare variations. 1995 D Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. This penny has been making waves for years, but what makes it so special? And most importantly, how much is it worth on the current market? Well, stick around because this could be the coin worth thousands, or even millions, of dollars. Let's get started. Here it is, the 1995 D Lincoln penny. You might be wondering, it's just a regular penny from 1995, right? Well, not exactly. There's something incredibly unique about this coin that you won't find in your change jar. In fact, if you have one of these, you might be sitting on a small fortune. First, let's go over the basics. The 1995 D penny was minted at the Denver Mint and features the well-known design of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This penny was struck to commemorate the 16th President of the United States, and like all pennies from this period, it is made of copper-plated zinc. But there's something different about certain 1995 D pennies. Some of them are known to have rare features that set them apart from the rest. Now, here's where it gets interesting. In 1995, a small batch of these pennies were accidentally struck with a double die obverse error. This means that the image on the front of the coin, the one of Abraham Lincoln, was struck twice. This double image effect can make certain coins from this year worth up to millions of dollars. But finding one is no easy feat. Take a look at the image. Notice how the words Liberty and the date 1995 are slightly doubled. That's what you need to look for on your penny. It's subtle, but if you spot it, you could be holding a rare, highly valuable coin. Now, let's get down to the real question: what's it worth? The 1995 D double die penny has been known to fetch staggering prices at auctions. While a standard 1995 D penny without any errors may only be worth 1 cent, a 1995 D double die error penny can be worth anywhere from a few $100s to millions of dollars. That's right, millions. Here's a breakdown of the value you could expect based on the coin's condition and rarity. If your coin has somewhere but still shows the double die effect clearly, you could see values starting at $500 to $1,000. If the coin is in good shape with clear doubling, expect to see prices range from $3,000 to $5,000. If you have a near-perfect 1995 D double die penny, it could fetch anywhere between $10,000 and $50,000. But here's the kicker: highly graded, mint-condition examples of the 1995 D double die error penny have been sold for upwards of $1 million at auction. Pretty incredible, right? But remember, these kinds of pennies are extremely rare, and to get top dollar, you need to make sure your coin is in mint condition. That means no scratches, no corrosion, and most importantly, the error needs to be visible enough to catch a buyer's eye. Alright, let's get into how you can actually find one of these valuable coins in your pocket change, or perhaps in your personal collection. Here's a step-by-step guide. Look closely at the numbers in the year 1995. If you notice any separation or doubling of the digits, that's your first sign. Look for any visible doubling or distortion in the letters. The doubling effect should appear not just faintly but noticeably on the letters. Make sure that the D mint mark is clear and well defined. A blurry or misaligned mint mark could indicate an error. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to get a better look at the details. These errors are hard to find, so if you think you've got a rare one, don't hesitate to get it appraised by a professional. So, you've got a 1995 D Lincoln penny with a double die error. Now what? How do you sell it for the highest price possible? Having your penny graded by a trusted service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, will give it a legitimate grade and increase its value. Take your coin to an experienced dealer who can help you get the best price, or sell it at a coin auction where buyers are looking for rare items. You can also list your coin on sites like eBay, where rare coins tend to get a lot of attention from collectors. So, there you have it. The 1995 D. Lincoln penny isn't just another cent. It's a coin that could change your life if you happen to find the right one. Remember, it's all about the double die error, and if you've got one of those, you could be looking at thousands, or even millions of dollars. Make sure to inspect your pennies carefully and get professional advice before selling. 1997 D. Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Stay tuned because you might have a rare find worth far more than its face value. Now, let's start by talking about the coin itself. The 1997 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny was minted by the United States Mint in Denver, and it's part of the Lincoln Memorial series. If you're familiar with these pennies, you'll know that they feature a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But what makes the 1997 D penny so special, and why are collectors buzzing about it? At first glance, the 1997 D penny might look like just another run-of-the-mill coin from the 90s. After all, over 10 billion of these pennies were minted that year. But here's where the magic happens. Despite its large mintage, certain variants of the 1997 D penny have the potential to fetch a high price in the market, especially for those in pristine, uncirculated condition or those exhibiting rare characteristics. Let's talk numbers. In terms of face value, the 1997 D Lincoln penny is just 1 cent. But as any seasoned coin collector will tell you, some pennies are worth more than their face value due to their rarity, condition, and sometimes a bit of luck. So, what's the 1997 D penny worth today? Well, the value varies significantly depending on its condition. Let's break it down for you. If you have a typical circulated 1997 D penny, you're looking at a value close to the coin's face value, typically around 1 to 5 cents. These are pennies that have been in circulation and show signs of wear. Now, here's where things get interesting. If you have an uncirculated 1997 D penny, meaning it has no wear or damage and retains its original shine, it could be worth anywhere between 25 to 50 cents or more. The real money starts to come in when we talk about high-grade examples. If your 1997 D penny is graded at MS65 or higher, that's a coin in near-perfect condition. It could fetch $2 to $10 depending on demand and the current market trends. But the true treasures are the rare varieties and error coins. We'll get into those soon, but these coins could see values in the hundreds of dollars range. That's where the potential for big bucks lies. It's not just about condition but also about what's different or special about the coin. Now let's dive into what really sets some 1997 D pennies apart: rare errors and minting anomalies. If you're lucky enough to find a 1997 D penny with an error, you could be holding on to something potentially worth a lot more than just its face value. This occurs when the coin is struck twice by the die, causing a double image to appear on the obverse. These coins are highly sought after, and if you find one, they could fetch anywhere from $100 to $500 or more depending on the severity of the doubling. Occasionally, a coin gets struck off-center, and this error makes the design look misaligned. A well-defined off-center strike on a 1997 D penny could be worth $50 to $200 or even more. Broad strikes happen when a coin is struck outside of the collar die, causing the metal to spread out beyond the typical design. These coins are considered rare and can command anywhere from $100 to $1,000, depending on how extreme the error is. So, how can you tell if your 1997 D penny is worth more than just a penny? Here are a few key tips. Coins that are uncirculated, meaning they have minimal wear, will always be worth more. Look for coins that are shiny and show little to no signs of handling. If you believe you've found a rare or high-quality 1997 D penny, getting it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC can help authenticate its condition and value. Look closely at your coin for any obvious minting errors. If you're unsure, consider getting it appraised by an expert. Errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or broad strikes can increase a coin's value dramatically. Now you might be wondering, can a 1997 D Lincoln penny actually be worth $1 million? While $1 million price tag is highly unlikely for this coin, the world of rare coin collecting can be full of surprises. Historically, coins like the 1943 copper penny and 1955 double die have made headlines by selling for six-figure amounts or more. But for the 1997 D penny, it would need to have an incredibly rare minting error, be in pristine condition, and maybe even have some historical significance for it to ever come close to such a high price. So, while $1 million 1997 D Lincoln penny is not likely in the cards, it's still a coin worth keeping an eye on. Rare errors and high-grade specimens can fetch a nice sum, and for collectors, that's enough to make this penny worth more than just its copper content. So there you have it. The 1997 D Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny may be a common coin, but with the right condition and a bit of luck, it can be worth far more than a penny. If you've got one of these in your collection, take a closer look. You might just have a hidden gem. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare pennies, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you don't miss out on future coin insights. Have you ever come across a rare penny? Let us know in the comments below, and until next time, happy hunting! 2015 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. If you're into rare coins or you're just curious about why this penny could be worth far more than its face value, stick around as we explore its current market value and why it might even be worth $1 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1 million penny. Let's jump right in. First, let's get a closer look at this fascinating penny. The 2015 Abraham Lincoln penny was minted in several different facilities. But here's where it gets interesting. The 2015 penny that has no mint mark on the reverse side of the coin is the one that collectors are after. As most of you probably know, each coin produced by the US Mint has a mint mark indicating where it was made, the D for Denver, the P for Philadelphia, and the S for San Francisco. But what if there's no mint mark at all? Could that mean something special? Well, the 2015 no mint mark penny is incredibly rare and is believed to be a result of an error at the US Mint. While Philadelphia typically doesn't place mint marks on pennies, it is unusual for these coins to be produced without any mint mark at all. But how rare is this penny really? Let's break down why collectors are willing to pay thousands, and sometimes millions, for these coins. Since its release in 2015, the 2015 no mint mark penny has gained serious attention. With an estimated rarity of only a few hundred to a few thousand in circulation, the demand for this coin has skyrocketed. While many of these pennies are still found in circulation, very few are in pristine, uncirculated condition. This makes them even more valuable. Now, let's talk about the current market value. The 2015 no mint mark penny can range in value based on condition, from a few dollars for a worn or damaged coin, to several thousand for one in pristine, uncirculated condition. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Coins in near mint condition can fetch up to $20,000, and those in perfect MS-67 or MS-68 condition can reach upwards of $50,000 or more. Some of these pennies have even been sold at auction for higher amounts. In fact, if you manage to find a perfectly preserved 2015 no mint mark penny, you could easily be holding on to something worth a small fortune. And if you think that's impressive, wait till we discuss why this penny could be worth millions. So, how can a penny, just 1 cent, be worth $1 million? Here's the thing, coins like this are often sold at high-end auctions where bidding wars can push the price up exponentially. In the world of rare coins, collectors are constantly looking for those elusive, one-of-a-kind pieces, and a perfect 2015 no mint mark penny is just the kind of coin that can go for astronomical amounts. In some rare cases, coins like these are sold for millions of dollars when a buyer sees its potential as an investment. A few years ago, a similar era coin, the 1943 copper penny, sold for over $1.7 million. And while the 2015 no mint mark penny isn't quite as famous yet, the potential is there for it to follow a similar path. If you're lucky enough to find a 2015 no-mint mark penny in your pocket change or in a roll of pennies from the bank, you could be sitting on a gold mine. But before you get too excited, it's important to have the coin professionally graded. That's the only way to determine its true value. Grading a coin involves assessing its condition, including things like its sharpness, luster, and the absence of scratches or marks. Professional graders at organizations like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, will provide a grade that could dramatically increase the coin's value if it's in exceptional condition. So, if you're thinking of selling a 2015 no-mint mark penny, getting it graded by a professional service is crucial. If it's in perfect condition, you could potentially see your coin sold for tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. But like with any rare item, there's a market of collectors and investors who are willing to pay top dollar for these coins. While most of us will find pennies in our change jar, there's always the chance that you might have one of these rare and valuable coins in your possession. Whether you're a casual collector or an avid numismatist, it's essential to know what you have and how much it could be worth in today's market. So there you have it. The 2015 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny isn't just a regular penny, it's a potential gold mine. While the majority of these pennies are worth just a few cents, the ones in perfect condition could be worth thousands, tens of thousands, and in rare cases, even $1 million. If you come across one of these coins, make sure to have it appraised, graded, and possibly auctioned off to get the full value it deserves. 2016 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. This coin may seem like just another ordinary penny, but you're going to be surprised by its value and why it could be worth far more than a cent. So stick around because you won't want to miss this. Alright, let's get into it. At first glance, the 2016 penny may not seem like it would fetch you a fortune, especially when you compare it to older, more well-known rare coins. But today, we'll be talking about why the 2016 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is making waves in the numismatic world, and how it could be worth $1 million if you find the right one. Let's start with a quick breakdown of the coin itself. The 2016 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is the standard design that features President Lincoln on the obverse, and the iconic Union shield on the reverse. It was minted to commemorate Lincoln's legacy, and it looks just like any other penny, right? Well, that's not entirely the case. Typically, U.S. pennies have a mint mark to show where they were made. For most of the 2016 pennies, the mint marks D for Denver or P for Philadelphia are visible. But the rarest of them all is the 2016 penny with no mint mark at all. In 2016, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at both its Philadelphia and Denver mints. Normally, pennies made in Philadelphia are marked with the letter P. But in 2016, something unusual happened. A small number of pennies were produced in Philadelphia without any mint mark. This wasn't an intentional error, but rather an oversight or anomaly in the minting process. Now, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's clarify something. The 2016 no-mint mark penny is not a widespread phenomenon. It's extremely rare, and finding one is like stumbling upon a hidden treasure in your change. That rarity is what gives this coin its impressive value. At face value, it's just 1 cent, but in the world of coin collecting, it can be worth far more. A well-preserved 2016 no-mint mark penny in excellent condition can fetch anywhere from $100 to $500 depending on the grade. But here's where it gets interesting. If you have one in mint state, that means no visible wear and tear, with clear details and a flawless finish, then you could be looking at thousands of dollars. I've seen reports of some of these coins selling for $5,000 to $10,000 in auction. But the real jackpot comes when you find one in perfect condition with that no mint mark anomaly. The true market value depends on the demand, rarity, and condition of the coin, which, for certain collectors, can drive the price to staggering amounts. In fact, a few lucky collectors have even sold these coins for over $100,000. Now you might be wondering, how do I spot one of these rare coins? Well, it's actually pretty simple to check. All you need is a magnifying glass and a good eye. Look closely at the obverse of the coin, near the year 2016. If there is no mint mark and the coin is from Philadelphia, then you've likely got a valuable find. Be sure to check the coin's condition as well. A coin in circulated condition will not fetch the same premium price as a pristine, uncirculated one. The cleaner, sharper, and more well-defined your coin is, the higher its potential value. You might be thinking, can this really be worth $1 million? Well, it's unlikely, but not impossible. Rare, high-grade specimens of U.S. coins, especially those with unexpected minting errors or anomalies, have occasionally reached those mind-boggling values at auction. However, the odds are slim. To put it in perspective, the 2016 no-mint mark penny might not be the next $1 million coin, but in the right conditions, it's not out of the question. If you have one that's been graded and authenticated by a professional service, and if it's in pristine condition, you could see it sell for amounts well into the tens of thousands of dollars, and possibly, just possibly, into the low six figures. To ensure that your coin is graded correctly, you'll need to get it authenticated by a reputable third-party service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. They'll assign a grade to your coin, which is crucial for determining its value on the market. And if you're lucky enough to own one of these 2016 no-mint mark pennies in high-grade condition, you could see it soar in value. Just be sure to keep it in pristine condition and store it properly to maintain its value over time. So, is the 2016 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny worth millions? Not likely, but it's definitely worth keeping an eye out for. With its rarity and demand from collectors, it could land you a nice payday, especially if it's in perfect condition. If you find one of these pennies, don't just toss it into a jar. Make sure to get it checked, because it might be worth far more than its face value. As always, keep collecting, stay informed, and who knows, you could be the next lucky coin owner to make a big discovery. 2016 The Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might be thinking, it's just a penny, right? But hold on, there's way more to this coin than meets the eye. Now, most of us know that pennies are worth just 1 cent. But did you know that certain pennies, like the 2016 D. Lincoln penny, could be worth way more than their face value, especially if they're rare or have unique characteristics? Today, we'll talk about the 2016 D penny's current market value, and I'll show you how it could even reach millions of dollars in certain situations. Let's get into it. First things first, let's take a look at the 2016 D penny. This coin was minted by the U.S. Mint in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark on the reverse side. Abraham Lincoln, who is featured on the obverse of the coin, was honored with this design since 1909, marking his 100th birthday. The 2016 D version was part of a regular release, but it's the condition, mint errors, and other rare factors that make some of these coins stand out. Let's talk about the current market value of the 2016 D penny. In circulated condition, this coin is worth, well, just 1 cent, as you'd expect. But here's where things get interesting. Uncirculated versions of this penny, especially those with a grade of MS65 or higher, can fetch up to 50 cents to $1 or even more depending on the coin's quality and demand. But that's not all. Some 2016 D pennies with unique characteristics or flaws, like doubling, misprints, or special mint errors, can increase in value by thousands of dollars. So, what exactly should you be looking for? Let's break that down. Rare mint errors are a coin collector's goldmine. For example, a 2016 D penny with a doubled die, where the image of Abraham Lincoln or the date appears more than once due to a minting flaw, can dramatically increase the coin's value. A well-documented and authenticated double die could see auction prices ranging from hundreds to thousands of dollars. Look at this example of a 2016 D penny with a doubled die. If you're lucky enough to find one in your change or in a coin roll, it could be worth a small fortune. But that's not all. If you find a coin with a rare off-center strike or a die crack, those too can add significant value. Some collectors and dealers are paying top dollar for these rare finds, so keep your eyes peeled. So, can a 2016 D penny really be worth millions of dollars? While this coin in its standard form is unlikely to fetch that kind of price, rare varieties, especially those with significant mint errors, can go up in value dramatically over time. Take, for instance, certain coins from previous years that have broken auction records. Let's think back to some of the rarest coins ever sold, like the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double die. These kinds of coins have been sold for millions at auction, and while the 2016 D penny is still relatively young, we're seeing a trend where rare mint era pennies, especially those in near perfect condition, can sometimes sell for over $100,000 or more. So, if a 2016 D penny has an exceptional error and is graded as MS67 or higher, it could, in theory, appreciate in value as demand increases. In 10, 20, or even 50 years from now, if a coin like this becomes one of the few remaining in mint condition with a rare flaw, it could see prices in the $1 million range. Now, how can you check if your 2016 D penny is worth more than its face value? Here's what you need to do. First, take a close look at the coin. Look for any visible errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or strange minting issues. Next, if you believe you've found a rare one, get the coin professionally graded by a trusted company like PCGS or NGC. The grade of the coin plays a huge role in its market value. Lastly, keep an eye on coin auctions and price guides to stay updated on the coin's value over time. As more collectors discover these rare pennies, the value could continue to climb. So there you have it. While the 2016 D penny may not be $1 million coin right now, it has the potential to skyrocket in value depending on its rarity and condition. If you have one of these pennies, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, and you could be sitting on a hidden treasure. Be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment down below telling me if you've found any rare coins recently. Who knows, your next coin could be worth a fortune.